حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد إن خير الكلام كلام الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. قال الله تعالى في القرآن الكريم: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. My brothers and sisters in Islam, on the 9th day of Dhul Hijjah, in the 10th year of Hijrah, our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam gave a khutbah, a sermon that's also known as the khutbah of Hijjatul Wada. In this khutbah, our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam said many things that are like golden rules for the rest of the humanity as well, not just for the Muslim Ummah, but also for the whole mankind. They are principles of equality, justice and fairness, and not fair treatment, if we try to live up to them. In this khutbah, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ started like this. He said, O people, lend me an attentive ear, for I do not know whether after this year I shall ever be amongst you. Therefore listen to what I am saying to you very carefully, and take these words to those who are not here today. 100,000 or more Sahaba radiallahu anhum ajma'een were there and listening to these words of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, to this khutbah. He said, toward the end of his khutbah, he said, all mankind is from Adam and Eve, and Arab has no superiority over non-Arab, or a non-Arab has no superiority over an Arab. Black has no superiority over white, and neither the vice versa. except by taqwa and good action. He also said, learn that every Muslim is a brother to every other Muslim, and that the Muslims constitute one brotherhood. Nothing shall be legitimate to a Muslim which belongs to a fellow Muslim unless it was given to him freely and with his free will, freely and willingly. Then he said, O people, know that there will be no prophet or messenger after me, and no new faith will be born. Therefore, O people, understand these words that I convey to you. He said, I leave after me two things, the Quran and my Sunnah, and if you follow these, you will never go astray. And then at the end, Prophet Muhammad asked the people, O people, have I conveyed the message to you? He asked them 3 times, and they all said, yes, O Rasulullah, yes, O Rasulullah, you have conveyed the message. Yes, you have conveyed the message. And then Prophet Muhammad looked up toward the heavens and he said, Oh Allah, be witness. Be my witness that I have delivered the message. Sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And then Prophet Muhammad recited this beautiful ayah of the Quran. Surah Ma'idah, ayah number 3, chapter number 5. He recited like this. اليوم يئس الذين كفروا من دينكم فلا تخشوهم واخشوني اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم وأتممت عليكم نعمتي ورضيت لكم الإسلام دينا. Today the kuffar are in despair and they have given up that they will ever succeed upon you. So do not fear them, fear me. And today I have perfected or completed the religion for you. Your religion has been perfected and completed for you. وَأَتْمَمْتُ عَلَيْكُمْ نِعْمَتِي, and I have completed my favor upon you. And I have chosen Islam as deen for you. I have been pleased with Islam as your religion. There is a narration by Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal that a Jewish person came and he addressed Sayyidina Umar bin Khattab radiallahu anhu, and he said, Oh Umar, there is a verse, an ayah in your Quran. If it had been revealed to us, we would have taken that day as a day of celebration. Sayyidina Umar asked him, radiallahu anhu, what ayah is it? He says, it is Al-Yawma Akmaltu Lakum Dinakum, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned that the religion has been completed, perfected, and not only that Allah is pleased with this. He has chosen this for us. وَرَضِيتُ لَكُمُ الْإِسْلَامَ دِينًا. Sayyidina Umar said, I know when this verse came. I know when it came. He said it came on the night of Arafah, at the end of the day of Arafah, and that's why Prophet Muhammad recited it the next day at the end of his khutbah. Brothers and sisters, this verse simply tells us that our deen is complete. Not only complete, it has reached the level of perfection. So it does not take any addition or deletion from it, because it is something which is already there for us, a complete package to live 24/7, 365, a complete way of life. It does not take any additions or deletions. Please remember these words. It does not take any additions or deletions. Prophet Muhammad said in another hadith, he said, I have not left anything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has ordered for you except that I have ordered you to do it. And I have not left anything which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prohibited for you except that I have prohibited it for you. Narrated by Al-Bayhaqi, At-Tirmidhi, and many others. Meaning Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is saying that any do's or don'ts of this deen have been told to you. There is nothing left unsaid. Anything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted from us has been told. Anything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted us not to do has been told. And Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is confirming what the verse is saying, that it's been complete. There is a beautiful hadith. It talks about a khutbah of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, where Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was giving his speech. It says like this. Irbad ibn Sariya radiallahu anhu is the narrator. He says, وَعَظَنَا رَسُولُ اللَّهِ صَلَى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمْ مَوْعِظَةً بَلِيغَةً وجلت منها القلوب وذرفت منها العيون فقلنا يا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم كأنها موعظة مودع فأوصنا. Prophet Muhammad صلى الله عليه وسلم was giving a speech, a wa'adh once, and they said it was so beautiful, it was so powerful, the admonition, that our hearts had fear of Allah, our hearts had khushu' of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and our eyes were shedding tears. So we asked Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Oh Rasulullah, it almost sounds like a farewell speech. Give us advice. Give us advice." So Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "أوصيكم بالتقوى الله والسمع والطاعة وإن تأمر عليكم عبد فإنه من يعش منكم فسيرى اختلافا كثيرا فعليكم بسنتي وسنة الخلفاء الراشدين المهديين عضوا عليها بالنواجذ وإياكم ومحدثات الأمور وكل محدثة بدعة فإن كل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار." Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, I advise you to have taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and obedience, listening and obedience to the ruler, even if he's a black slave, even if he became your ruler, not through tyranny or overtaking people's rights, like what's happening today. And people are struggling against them. May Allah help the ummah. So, we don't owe any obedience to a tyrant who disobeys Allah and the Messenger. I would like to interject a hadith here. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ says, لا طاعة لمخلوق في معصية الخالق. We cannot obey the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at the expense of disobedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he's not talking about these tyrants that are taking over the ummah, that have taken over the ummah, occupied the ummah's resources and their lives. And he says, after me you will see many disputes, اختلافا كثيرا. Remember, فَعَلَيْكُمْ بِسُنَّتِي. Upon you is my sunnah at that time. Hold on to my sunnah. عَضُّوا عَلَيْهَا بِالنَّوَاجِذ. Hold on to it with your molar teeth. Don't let it go. If you're trying to hold something very strong, don't let it go. Don't sway from it. And the sunnah, not only his sunnah, and the sunnah of my companions, the guided khulafa al-Rashidin al-Mahdiyin. We know the 4 guided khalifas. Their sunnah as well. And remember, be careful. وَإِيَّاكُمْ. Be careful about the newly introduced matters in deen, in your lives. Because many of those newly invented matters in deen are bid'ah, they are innovations. And every innovation is a misguidance, and the end of every misguidance is in hellfire. End of every misguidance is in hellfire. This hadith, brothers and sisters, has been narrated by many scholars of hadith, like Musnad Ahmad, Abu Dawood, At-Tirmidhi, Ibn Majah, Ad-Darimi, Al-Bayhaqi, and so forth. Al-Hakim as well. It's a sahih hadith, well-known, famous hadith, that closes the doors for all kinds of innovations in the deen. What is really an innovation? What is this bid'ah? In every khutbah we mention the hadith of Rasulullah ﷺ, where he says, وَشَرُّ الْأُمُورِ مُحْدَثَاتُهَا وَكُلَّ مُحْدَثَةٍ بِدْعَةٍ. Every khutbah we mention this. It's part of Khutba Masnoona. Bid'ah is, brothers and sisters in Islam, is something that was not done briefly, that was not done by Prophet Muhammad ﷺ or his companions, and we bring it into the deen. We bring it into our practice, into our lives. That's bid'ah, innovation. We're not talking about being innovative in life, driving a new car or a different ride or something. We're talking about innovation in deen. Islam is to follow. It's not to innovate or introduce new methods or new ways. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, وَأَنَّ هَذَا صِرَاطِي مُسْتَقِيمًا فَاتَّبِعُوهُ وَلَا تَتَّبِعُوا السُّبُلَ وَلَا تَتَّبِعُوا السُّبُلَ فَتَفَرَّقَ بِكُمْ عَنْ سَبِيلِهِ ذَلِكُمْ وَصَّاكُمْ بِهِ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, this is the straight path, the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on which Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam lived and followed and told us to follow. Don't follow other routes. Do not follow other paths. Otherwise you will lose your track. This is the reminder for you so that you may have taqwa. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in one hadith explaining this verse, he drew many lines like this, here and there, and then he drew one straight line. He says, this is straight path. This is Sirat al-Mustaqim. And all of these are deviated wrong paths. And at the end of every one of these, there is shaitan waiting for you to take you to hellfire. Shaitan is waiting on every one of those. The only one where shaitan cannot touch you is Sirat al-Mustaqim, that takes you straight to Jannah, inshaAllah ta'ala. This is the Sirat al-Mustaqim that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about. وَأَنَّ هَذَا صِرَاطِي مُسْتَقِيمًا. Not anything else beside that. The scholars have also explained the word bid'ah. For example, one of the beautiful definitions given by Ibn Rajab, rahimahullah, he says, an act that has no source whatsoever in Quran and Sunnah or Sharia. An action in deen that has no source whatsoever in Quran and Sunnah is bid'ah, is an act of bid'ah. What is the treatment of bid'ah in Islam? If we see a bid'ah, or how will it be treated? Well, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ has said, "Man ahdatha fi amrina hada laysa min fahuwa radd." Ma laysa min. Whosoever introduces anything, a slip of tongue, excuse me. Whosoever introduces anything into the matter of ours that is not from it, from this deen, he shall have it rejected. Another hadith that is also in Bukhari and Muslim both, Sahih Muttafaqun alayh, it is even stronger. It's not about introducing the matter, it's about doing the thing, action. Man amala amalan laysa alayh fahuwa rad. Or man amila amalan. Whoever acted upon something which is not from it, from this deen, acting upon it, it will be rejected. So if you combine both of the ahadith, that's how scholars have done it. They have combined both of these ahadith, and the meaning they come up with is, any action in deen, whether it is being introduced by someone, or whether it is being followed by someone, it will not be accepted. Imagine we're doing something thinking that it is our deen, day and night, or annually, and it is not really part of the deen. What's going to happen? What will be the treatment? It will not be accepted. There will be no ajr, no reward. So we have to be very careful in the matters of our deen, whether it is aqeedah, our ibadat, our beliefs, our worships, or our mu'amalat, or uqubat. Any of those, whether dealing with each other, whether it is our worships, or whether it is our belief, we should not introduce or act upon the invented matters in deen, like bid'at and stuff. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه. إن الحمد لله الصلاة والسلام على رسول الله أما بعد. Brothers, I have a request to make from the brothers from behind these pillars. Everyone, if you can stand up and make room, come forward. All of us. because we've had people complaining that they're standing in the hallways and there's no room for them to get into the musalla. So please, everyone, if you can squeeze all of the brothers, inshallah. Inshallah, leave room for your brothers to come. There's many people who stand in the hallways. I've been told, and Allah, it's sad that when the prayer starts, we have more room empty in the back. So leave room for your brothers, inshallah. When you come, try to fill in the empty spots, inshallah. Inna alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah. Now, brothers and sisters, in our deen, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has decreed upon a matter, has decided upon a matter, something has been said by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said about something, then we don't have a choice that, no, I want to do it my way when it comes to the deen. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has set this guideline in the Quran. It's a hukum. وَمَا كَانَ لِمُؤْمِنٍ وَلَا مُؤْمِنَةٍ إِذَا قَضَى اللَّهُ وَرَسُولُهُ أَمْرًا أَن يَكُونَ لَهُمُ الْخِيَرَةُ مِنْ أَمْرِهِمْ. We don't have a choice. وَمَا كَانَ لِمُؤْمِنٍ وَلَا مُؤْمِنَةٍ. We don't have a choice. وَمَنْ يَعْصِ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ فَقَدْ ضَلَّ ضَلَالًا مُبِينًا. It is open deviance, it's open misguidance to disobey Allah and His Messenger like that. It is a disobedience to Allah and His Messenger, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to do things in the deen that are not part of the deen. And speaking of bid'ah, brothers and sisters, we have gone really far in this matter, far away from the deen. We have social bid'at in our lives. We have cultural bid'at. We have bid'at in our religion. We have introduced many of them. For example, the celebration of different holidays as your holidays. It's okay to take a day off because you have a day off, but celebrating it, putting a Christmas tree in your own house, thinking that it's just a tree. It's just a tree. Even the Christians don't agree about the source of this tree, where it came from. It's a pagan practice. People in Europe from the ancient religion, they used to worship this evergreen tree. And they used to think that any soul that died, it goes back into this tree. This is the reality of this tree. This tree was not anywhere near Sayyidina Isa alayhi salam when he was being born. Or we have bid'at in our culture nowadays, especially living here among the kuffar, among the non-believers. We think that these things are nice things to celebrate. We do bid'at when the time of someone's wedding comes, for example, bridal showers, baby showers, this shower, that shower. Where is that coming from? This is not deen. This is not part of our deen. Islam, when we tell people, this is another thing. This is a hypocrisy that some of us have with us. We tell people, brothers, this is, or oh my brother in humanity, this is a complete way of life. It tells us what to do and what not to do from the time we wake up and the time we go back to bed, or from the time we are born till the time we go back in our graves. When we are put back in the grave, it's a complete way of life. And okay, what about the practice? What practices are you doing if this is a complete way of life? Is this a practice that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ told us, or his Sahaba, or the 4 Imams, or anyone from the fiqh? Where did that come from? Or Eid al-Umm, the Eid of the mothers? People who abandon their mothers, maybe for example, for them it could be Eid. It's Eid al-Umm for us for every day. Every day we have to honor and revere our mothers. This is not part of our deen. And then celebrating, when we celebrate birthday. I mean, look at the word birthday, the whole term. I don't understand this. Either I have a problem in understanding, or I don't know the people who use this term. Birthday. It's a day that you were born, not the date. We call it birthday, but yet it's a date that we celebrate. Okay, that's a cultural bid'ah or a social bid'ah. The worst of all, the really worst of all of this is celebrating the birthday of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. The worst bid'ah that one could do is celebrating the birthday of Prophet ﷺ. It's even worse than celebrating your own birthday. Because people have made it a part of deen. They call it Eid Miladun Nabi, a third Eid. They've made it a part of deen. They say you have 3 celebrations. They are putting it now in the Muslim textbooks of the children, that we have 3 celebrations in Islam. Eid al-Fitr, Eid al-Adha, and Eid Miladun Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And then who does not celebrate it, he does not love Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Where did that come from? Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, let's go back to the seerah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Did he ever celebrate his birthday? Or that date of his birth? By the way, we consider, or most of us think that it's the 12th day of Rabi'ul Awwal. By the way, in the books of seerah, no, we're not sure if it's 12th or 9th. Some scholars have said in the books of seerah that it's the 9th day of Rabi'ul Awwal. It's the 9th day of Rabi'ul Awwal. The day he died is the 12th day of Rabi'ul Awwal. How sad it is that we're celebrating the day he died, even if it is legitimate to celebrate his birthday. It's in the books of seerah. 12th day. Many of them say 12th, 11th, 12th or 11th. In many narrations. So we're celebrating the death of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Who could love Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam more than the Sahaba? Just think about it, brothers and sisters. We have to do some thinking here. Who could love Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam more than the Sahaba? Should we know how they celebrated the birthday of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? If it ever happened? Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the day I was born is Monday. Monday is the day I was born. And he used to fast that day. So if you love Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, fast Monday. Pray, fast, give zakah, follow your deen. That's the love of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Not that you celebrate one day and then forget about the life of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam for the rest of the year. If celebrating the birthday of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is acceptable in Islam, then we should celebrate the Christmas also. Why not? That's also a birthday or a date that we have set for birth. We have to be very careful, brothers and sisters, when it comes to dealing with our deen. Our deen has 2 festivities. An example from the life history of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When Prophet came to Medina, people of Medina were celebrating a day, a festival, kind of a festivity. And they were told that this is the day we've been celebrating from ages before even Islam. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, and this is an authentic hadith, he said, we have only 2 celebrations, which is Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha. We don't have any other celebration in our deen. So brothers and sisters, let us come back to the basics of our deen. Yes, we all love Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Our faith is not complete. Our iman is not complete unless Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is more dear to us than anything in this world. Than anything in this world. The most beloved person in this dunya for us is Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. More than our parents, our loved ones, anyone. That's our deen. That is our iman. It is not worthy of us to go out and celebrate and sing in the name of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And many times in that poetry we add shirk, we add bid'at, we add words that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam should not be praised like that. We should not compare him with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They have put things like that. Our own brothers. And then sometimes they'll say, I am a Hanafi. That's why I'm celebrating the birthday of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Please try to search, find out, if you can find it in your research, that any of the 4 Imams ever celebrated the birthday of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It was a gift of a king, again, because we're struggling against this tyranny that Ummah is going through. A gift of a king to the Ummah. 400 years after Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that he decided that we will celebrate the Mawlid of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Unfortunately today, if someone says or tells his brothers or friends that let's not make it a Eid for us, they call him a Wahhabi. They call him a Wahhabi. This whole term is not a good term to use for our brothers. Al-Wahhab originally is one of the names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But we mean something else with Wahhabi. We use it in a derogative sense. So let's not use the word or the term Wahhabi for the brothers who do not celebrate the Mawlid of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If we do that, then all four Imams of fiqh, Imam Malik, Imam Abu Hanifa, Imam Shafi'i, Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal, then they're all Wahhabis. For your information and for my information, if we follow the same logic. Because they did not celebrate the birthday or the date of 12th of Rabi'ul Awwal of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save us from all kinds of innovations and give us the company of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Jannah. Give us the drink of Hawd, inshallah. But remember, brothers and sisters, there will be people who will be taken away from the Hawd, the drink that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is going to give. And when they will be taken away,